Get ready. Go ahead and hum with me real quick on the count of 3. Okay, 1,
Okay.
2, 3. Hmm. Okay. Perfect.
Is that good?
That's good.
Cool.
Your mic didn't pick it up in Discord, but I know Audacity. Oh, no, Audacity. I know fucking Audacity that way. Yes, anyway, so. I guess we're here once again, 20 minutes later.
Yes.
Here with
Episode
the first
1.
official episode of the podcast, right? First official. Hi, Shay.
Hey man, how's it going?
I'm good. How about you?
Good.
How were you 20 minutes ago to now?
Good. Got a beer now, so I'm fucking chilling.
This man's got a beer. I don't got a beer. There's a pale ale in the fridge, but I don't feel like it. Yes, so hi everyone tuning in from episode 0. Literally recording this 20 minutes after we recorded that, but you're probably listening to it hour or day after.
Yeah.
Depending. Maybe a week after, who knows? I don't know what your schedule is. Today's topic, conversation, is a person who many people know well, person with a combined total of 14 million subscribers and over 3 billion video views across 3 separate YouTube channels, Mr. Toby Joseph Turner, otherwise known as Tobuscus. Everyone knows who Tobuscus is. Like we said in episode 0,
is legendary.
We all grew up listening to him.
Oh, yeah.
Watching him. We know who he is. And you might know him on YouTube, but do you know who Tobuscus is? Did you even know his name was Toby Turner? Like, did you know that?
Did you know?
Okay, you might have because he had an IRL channel named Toby Turner, but you may not have known that. Some people didn't know this, right? He's a YouTuber, actor, comedian, musician, amazing person with a huge heart whose life ended, social media life ended in tragedy. But yes, Tobuscus, I can swing my sword, nugget in a biscuit. Everyone knows who this man is. Even if you were not on YouTube, he was on CBS at one point, and a couple of the older folks may have seen him on there. Yes, so Tobuscus. Why are we talking about Tobuscus? Why is he important to any individual person who exists on this planet? Well, he changed YouTube. He was a huge person on YouTube. The art style of his animations was different than what we had seen. He did something called a literal trailer. Oh, as I hit my mic. He did something called a literal trailer, where a trailer for a game or movie would come out, and he would do a literal on it. He would sing to the trailer, literally what was going on screen. But it was fun to watch, and it was hilarious, and it was funny. Couple on the list of, he did one for Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, another for, he did all sorts of games, Hitman Absolution, he did a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
He did that, that was part of his trailer. He made his own songs, like I said, Minotaur, from I Can Swing My Sword, to Nugget and a Biscuit, to Viral Song. A lot of people probably heard Viral Song. That got passed around a lot, actually. He did gaming. He did a lot of Minecraft videos. He did played all sorts of new games when they come out. Like I said in Podcast 0, I remember watching him play Halo 4 when it first came out. He was an awesome person to watch. He really was.
Oh, yeah.
And his whole career ended when a ex-girlfriend of his accused him of sexual allegations. Which we'll obviously get into. That's the whole point. But
yeah,
this man changed YouTube. His last upload was over a year ago. And he fell. You take a look at a lot of his videos from basically. This was quite a long time after when his whole things happened, but his views are all over the place.
Yeah.
On his main channel, Tobuscus, he's got 6.26 mil subscribers as it stands, and this video, his last upload from a little over a year ago has 1.3 million, but then you go to the next one and you have 92,000, 72,000, 65, 78, 84, 126. He's got some high view videos throughout there, but none like what he used to have. He had made a brand new literal trailer for Avengers Infinity War, and I think that was that was his last literal trailer. That was 3 years ago, and that was, I think, right before everything happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like right before everything happened, and he just kind of fell. But, you start to scroll back, and you see all of his old stuff, He made a literal trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2, The Punisher. It's got a decent amount of views. It was crazy. Crazy how he started falling. I remember hearing about it. I was watching one of his recent videos at that time, and I looked down the recommended, and it was like, Toby Turner accused of sexual allegations. And I'm like, what?
Like,
Huh?
what?
Huh? What? I'm like, there's no way. And nothing's ever been proven true. So this isn't a put anyone guilt or, prove anyone innocent, but nothing's been proven. So, and Toby had a very good response to the whole thing. So, and he was very honest with everyone and that sort of thing. So, but nothing's been proven yet on his side. But let's get started about him, right? Who's Toby Turner? Who's this YouTuber who all the youngins know about, right? So his full name, like I said earlier, is Toby Joseph Turner. Born March 3rd of 85. His birthday was last month. In Mississippi. So he's a Mississippi boy. Would you believe it? But grew up in Florida. So if you're wondering where most of his crazy stuff came from, Shay, it's because he grew up in Florida. I didn't know that until recently.
I didn't know that either, yeah.
So
there's some crazy shit that happens in Florida.
Man, Florida, it's just Florida, okay? Yeah, so, and he actually ended up going to the University of Florida and graduating with a degree in telecommunication production. So,
nice.
Big part of his whole career started as filmmaking, really, which you can check out, which you can still find. He made a skit on his YouTube, his very first video. It was a sketch based off of the movie Click, which I've never seen Click. Don't know what Click is, but it was one of his earlier ones, right? He had made a video called Don't Tase Me Bro, which is about something that happened at the university, apparently. And he went from there to, make comedic skits, animated sketches, and getting recognition for some of the songs said earlier, I Can Swing My Sword, Safety Torch, Nugget and a Biscuit. Along with during this time is when he started his whole literal trailer series, and that, gained him a lot of traction. Like I said, that's when I first knew about him fully, was watching his literals, and then realized he had a gaming channel. But when he did his Dead Island literal trailer, which is funny, that's what got him on CBS News. And he also did a little trailer of Iron Man 3, which brought him onto Wired. So he was highly successful. He started doing Let's Play videos, and one of his biggest things was Happy Wheels and Minecraft, which were both huge during that time. Everyone was making videos. PewDiePie, Markiplier, all the big people, Jacksepticeye, huge during that time. And he did, a lot of different kind of skits and collaborations with other YouTubers. He helped with The Annoying Orange, which a lot of people I know hate. I get it, but everyone knows about it. Helped out iJustin, which I haven't heard that name in a long time, or iJustine, however you want to say it, with a bunch of Little Big Planet videos, which helped him. And just a lot of stuff from there. Yeah, and honestly, like a lot of these facts, we're using kind of Wikipedia as a spreadsheet for it, to have it on one place where you can find all these different info about them, and they go into more depth than a lot of other websites, which references are all listed there on the site. So, like I said, the facts aren't from Wikipedia. We're just using it because we don't want to write out a whole list for this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but, highly successful. I watched him a lot. I loved him. I thought he was awesome.
Yeah, dude.
He was
Yeah, growing up, man, like when I first came across the channel, it was probably like what, sixth, seventh grade around that time. We all became really infatuated with this guy because he's just hilarious. He was one of like the first YouTubers for me that I actually watched consistently. Right, this is like when I was first getting into the whole computer internet thing. And I forget who told me about him, but when I first came across it, it was something that I really enjoyed, and it made me upset that he was, accused of such things and, fell from grace, if you will. And, terrible end to a great career,
Right. And again, that ending, obviously, we're about to get, a lot more into. Yeah, he was a pioneer on YouTube. He set the he set the bar high for videos, no one on YouTube. I mean, yeah, you had Markiplier because Markiplier was on YouTube during that time. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
A lot of different YouTubers, especially PewDiePie, you know what I mean? Next to PewDiePie, he was getting, he was one of the fastest growing people on the platform. And that was his life, was doing YouTube on all three of his different kind of channels. However, in the middle of 2016, specifically in April, Toby, which I think during this time no one really knew about anything of his girlfriend too much, or at least of their relationship, I should say. But his girlfriend was April Fletcher, and she was known as April F, which she was another, I think, kind of YouTuber. I think she was more famous on other platforms. I'm trying to find her on other stuff, but I think she kind of shut down a lot of her shit after all of this. But she ended up claiming that Toby raped her and drugged her 3 years prior to that in February. That she was contemplating suicide, and then he committed acts to other women. Another ex-girlfriend said that she was drugged by him as well. And then another one of his ex-girlfriends posted about the allegations. And, that he wasn't faithful to her. I was trying to put that in a right term.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a difference between, just being an asshole and being, a criminal, right? I mean, like, I can't speak for anyone that he was involved with, but, it seems to me that as soon as this first person came out, they were just like, all right, well, let's just end this whole man's career.
Right.
And, just say all these things. I mean, I can't prove it otherwise, but what it looks like, it seemed that it was just kind of a dog pile on Toby. It's like, all right, so he's coming out, or she's coming out, then it's me, then it's this, then it's this, then it's this. And the fact of the matter is, people lie. And I'm not accusing them of lying, but because I don't know the facts of the case or any kind of investigation that's ongoing or anything like that. But when someone comes out with something like this, and other people start coming out, obviously it gives the accusation more credibility, right? And people know that. But the fact of the matter is, more people that come in, the more involved they get, they start getting compensation for it. They're getting this attention, they're getting settlements, they're getting this, they're getting that. And I think that's probably close to what happened.
Right. In this situation. And here's the other thing too, is when you have really popular, a very, very famous person, right? And any kind of accusation made against him will automatically give whoever's making the accusation, the person making the accusation, will make them much larger. They get a lot more attention, And again, we're not saying they did any of this for attention, but a couple of his other exes also came out. They were kind of like, yeah, he wasn't ever that faithful, but they also said that they seemed very unlikely that he would ever rape or do anything like that. They're like, we know how he is, and a couple of them were still friends with him beyond this. And they're like, yeah, it's not the kind, like, just how he is. It's not, he's not that faithful of a person, but he's also not going to do that kind of stuff. And Toby, he ended up responding to everything too. and actually, he had to wait a little bit because after everything happened, he had to be quiet about a lot of it because now there was an investigation and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, he, was obviously, he claimed it wasn't true. He claimed none of it was, it's a lie, to just happen kind of out of nowhere. Like 3 years later, all of a sudden, you're coming out with this kind of information, which again, and we see this happen a lot. And we've also seen that the people who came out with saying this happened 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, ended up lying.
Yeah.
And again, I understand, from cases and stuff, if someone is raped, stuff like that, it can be hard to come out, and I understand that. But it's one of those, like the timings of a lot of times when people do it, you're just kind of like, why all of a sudden are you doing this? In the timing that April had actually done this, it was right after Toby had like a little figure of him. I think it was one of those pop filters. I might be wrong about that, but came out at GameStops and a couple other stores. And so she did that and was like, a hero doesn't disrespect and do this and that and that. And then this whole thing blew up, right? So, again, regardless if it's a person on YouTube, regardless if it's a person on TV or anything like that, we see it happen time and time and time again. And it's not one of those, well, they have enough money to pay off the people or whatever. That doesn't happen. Like, it happens, but not to an extent that people think it does.
Yeah.
Like, that's not just something that can just happen, especially for a person like him, because just the stuff that he had gone through, the stuff that he ended on. He was on Law & Order for an episode. And he wasn't the bad guy in that episode. He was in a lot of smaller films. He was in American Dad. He was in the pilot episode for Stranger Things. Like, he was in a lot. And here's the thing, again, when someone starts getting that kind of popular, whether it's money, attention, whatever it is, it's very easy to come out with an allegation like that. Make a Tumblr post about it to millions of people, and boom, a bunch of the people are going to be like, oh my God, he's a piece of shit. You're completely telling the truth, 100%. And again, it ended up getting proved him not guilty because she couldn't prove anything. And he was very calm and collected about the whole thing and wasn't, his story stayed the same through everything. Because he even came out and said that he wanted to just have a friend relationship with her, and she ended up coming on to him.
Right.
So, and like shortly after that, she just went quiet. And it's like, if it happened, if what you're saying like if it was fully true or you're not hiding anything, you would continue to push it afterwards.
Yeah.
Of like, no,
and
like this happened, and it just stopped.
Yeah. Yeah. And fuck, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought.
Do 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 do.
Yeah. So basically, even with the trial going on, even if he was found not guilty, there's still the damage is already done, right? Like, the allegations have come out. People are believing it. They're discrediting him, and this, that, and the other thing. And the fact of the matter is, this happens a lot in these kinds of cases, right? Because most of the time, I mean, obviously, everyone gets their due process, and innocent until proven guilty. But most of the time, judges will believe the victim. And when this happens, this, it goes to trial, it becomes public, and when that, even if the verdict is not guilty, damage is already done.
Right.
Like, his career is already ruined because this trial happened and this and that and the other thing. And I think it's terrible. I don't wish that to happen to anybody.
Well, it's almost like the stereotype of it is like, if you're that famous, you had to have done something bad at some point. You can't be that good, and it always ends up leading to rape or sexual assault or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing, and again, we see it happen with so many people, so many famous people and stuff like that. And like you're saying, the damage is done. Everything kind of happened. His videos slowed. He made a bunch of videos during that time period. You know what I mean? But his style changed a little bit, and you could tell. And then, 3 years ago, he did some things you could just see the fall, him starting the fall.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, he just kind of yeah, things just stopped for him, you know? So it turned into he didn't really know what to post anymore because everyone, like, there just wasn't, he lost a lot of motivation.
Yeah. And I mean, like,
So,
you know, if you or I were in the same situation, I definitely would have lost, you know, motivation.
well, it's hard
Because,
when there's
like,
so many people sending you death threats and shit. It's going to be super hard for
yeah,
you to do anything. Because
right, yeah, yeah,
you don't want to post something and it be like, all I'm going to do is get flamed in the comments and blah, 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 blah. You know?
yeah.
It's just, it's sad. It's depressing.
It is. I mean, like, you know, I think obviously if people that do, you know, commit these heinous crimes should be punished. But I also think that, you know, if allegations were to come out, it needs to be less public, right? Because as soon as it's public, the damage is already done, right? There's nothing they can do about it to repair it. But if it's like, you know, if they act like adults, they're professional about it, they're like, yeah, this is what happened. They take it to the court, it doesn't make the news, you know, everybody's happy.
Right.
And I think that's how the situation should have been handled. Because, you know, when you go public with something like this and you have supporters, it's like groupthink, right? So, well, I follow this person, I like them, so what they're saying must be true. So then these people go out to the person that's been accused, you know, harass them and do these other things, and it creates this whole toxic environment that can never be fixed.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it's
you know, if something like this were to happen, you know, I think it's terrible. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But you should be an adult about it and handle it professionally, right?
right.
Like I know it's a terrible situation. I know it's traumatizing, but you shouldn't, I guess, depend on millions of people like followers or people that you have influence over to support you in this, because they're not involved in it until you get them involved in it. And once they're involved, you know, it becomes an issue. So.
Right. Exactly. Now, a lot of our conversation too, you know, the views and stuff like that have definitely been from his Tobuscus channel, which his Tobuscus channel is where he grew his popularity at. That's what a lot of people know him as, you know. Again, that's why I was saying not a lot of people know Toby Turner. They know Tobuscus, right? So on his actual Toby Turner channel, he does still upload. Like one video for the month, really. He kind of had like 6 months ago, he had like a splurge of videos come out. But it's very interesting, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of the stuff he does. It's all a bunch, and it's all daily vlogs, you know what I mean? That he's doing, but that's kind of what he's doing now, you know?
Yeah.
It's just these kind of IRL videos and not actually doing the kind of Tobuscus stuff that everyone really knows him for. You know, when the elections are going on, he made videos about the election. I think he's a Biden supporter, and he kind of lost viewers after that. It looks like he made one on Easter. You know, it's just not the same Tobuscus. Now, if life was going, you know, kind of a different way for him, like if he wanted to take his channels and all that a different way, I know he's made videos kind of talking about it a little bit, but he hasn't been very open about it either.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, anywhere I go, like if I ever want to watch a video of his, I'm not going to type in Toby Turner. I'm going to type in Tobuscus.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I remember that for every intro. Tobuscus! You know?
Tobuscus, yeah.
And and you just look at his stuff and you can tell it's just a person who's just decayed over time.
Yeah.
You know,
completely. I mean, like, you know, obviously it's the same with, like, you know, the rest of the entertainment industry. Once you hit a certain age, once you've been around long enough, you become, you know, it becomes, I don't really want to say boring, but there's select viewers that'll stick with you, but there comes a point where you're just not going to get any new ones.
Well, especially after what happened to him, you know? Like,
yeah.
It's so much harder. Like some of his videos on his Toby Games channel hasn't even hit 5,000 views.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you kind of throw back to his older, you know, and again, a lot of like way back, 3 years ago, again, when all the allegations happened, he was barely crossing 10K views in a lot of these. But you go way back to 4 years ago, like almost immediately after everything happened, he has kind of a spike in viewership because everyone remembered who he was. Because that came out and it came across the recommended, and they're like, oh shit, Tobuscus exists. He's an actual person. But you can just see where his views just stopped. He's hitting over 100,000 views on some of these, 200, 261, 407. And then that shit happens and you just see them decline from there, And you can notice the thumbnails kind of start to get have less and less effort to them. Yeah, he fell hard. And it kind of sucks too, because I kind of feel like if he maybe kind of came back a little bit and really like started busting out the content from before, you get a lot more views. Now again, if it's something he doesn't want to do anymore, let people know. Don't just upload one video every 6 months or something like that, because then it's like, wait, are you actually done doing it? Like, wait, what are you doing here? So yeah. Like I said, again, he's still one of the biggest icons of my life for sure.
Yeah, for sure,
I'll never
man.
ever forget about him.
Like that was the thing, like whenever you and I would hang out or we get together with the boys, we'd always fucking like play some Tobuscus songs or watch some of his videos. He was just a part of our early life,
Right, he'd be off on the side while we were, playing games, doing whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
He'd just be off on the side playing. We'd stop for a second to watch him and then go back to what we were doing, but he was there,
Yeah.
I'd be playing Minecraft and he'd be on the side,
Oh yeah, dude.
He'd be my little background noise there. So it's definitely sad, but
it is.
Hopefully maybe at some point he'll make a comeback. Who knows?
Yeah.
Things are over for now, but he's still a huge icon that had something massive happen to him that people won't forget about. And
yeah,
it's up to the person to decide whether or not they like him or don't like him anymore, I guess,
Yeah.
If you liked him before, I don't really see the reason you shouldn't like him now.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, he's... I don't really know how to describe what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
He wants to say it. He can't figure out how to put in the words.
Yeah, I'm actually terrible with words.
You'll remember it later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is on YouTube. If you guys are on YouTube, go ahead and leave in the comments what you think about the whole situation. What you guys believe. Give your opinions down there. Tell us what you think about him, what you remember about him, if you liked him, didn't like him, what you like to watch with him, that kind of stuff. Just let us know.
Yeah.
However, we'll move on to the next topic as we're talking about old stuff, nostalgic stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Nostalgic, right? Nostalgia. And there's many things that come from the YouTube old Reddit days that would be nostalgic across anyone, regardless of what genre of game you played or what you watched, what you did on YouTube. There's quite a few channels / games that you will remember. And a huge part of that, and this is coming, from my side, because again, a lot of my friends weren't big in FPS games growing up. I always was. And that's Call of Duty. Huge nostalgic thing back when FaZe was a big thing. You'd go on YouTube and there was 7 different FaZe members with their videos being recommended to you.
Yeah.
Regardless of what kind of content you like to watch, FaZe Rain would come up, the FaZe House, FaZe Blaziken, all these people. And then the montages, the sniping montages. Esports was big then, but not big at the same time. But sniper montages were a huge thing. I was a sniper. I made my montages that no one will ever get to see because I won't allow anyone to see them.
Yeah.
You know, it was huge. Huge thing. Even if you had friends who didn't play Call of Duty much, they'd come over to your house and that'd be another game that you guys played. 1v1ing each other on fucking Nuketown. You know?
Yeah, dude.
Window Wars.
I mean,
it was a huge thing. Huge.
Yeah, it's a great pastime, too, you know? Like, I mean, just like D&D. Like, we'll talk about D&D here in a minute, but, like, you know, growing up, you know, going to school, having the weekends off, summer vacation, whatever, you know, you wanna hang out with your friends, and you want to do stuff. And video games, you know, really kind of brought us together, I think, as a friend group. Because, like, it's all a similar interest for us, right? Like, I know we may have, like, different game genres that we like, but the fact of the matter is we like games.
And
right?
we have
like,
games universally that we played during that time that made our friendships last.
Exactly.
Like Call of Duty. Again. Regardless of who is competitive in or not, Call of Duty was a pastime.
Yeah.
You know? The real grind was World of Warcraft, which I didn't actually get into because I was an FPS guy.
Yeah. I never really got into World of Warcraft, but Black Desert Online, I've recently gotten into that. I like it a lot better than WoW.
Yeah, WoW did kind of get old. But nostalgic nonetheless. You heard everyone talking about WoW. Who play games then?
Yeah,
you know?
dude. I mean, like, my first video game that I ever played was Dungeon Siege. Is that like the original Dungeon Siege on my dad's fucking, Windows fucking 7 fucking Walmart desktop computer, you know?
Right.
And like, I actually recently bought all the Dungeon Sieges because I just wanted to relive that time, you know?
He wants to relive the glory days.
Yeah, dude. Like, oh man, that was my shit when I was growing up. Like, my introduction to video games came from Dungeon Siege and my dad.
And my dad was a huge gamer, too. Like I said, when I was really young, I played a lot of Madden, Gran Turismo, and Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal was the shit.
Oh, yeah.
Along with the SpongeBob game. It's the Battle for Bikini Bottom, I think.
Game? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that game was... I replayed that game so many times.
Oh, dude, it was so good.
If I played it now, I'd probably... I would kid out on it.
Yeah.
Honestly. Call of Duty was huge. Friend came over. You guys split screen Call of Duty. Sniped, played, tried to tomahawk each other. You know, whatever. Just having a jolly old good time about it. Playing zombies. We can't forget zombies. Trying to go for those high rounds, you know. Having to res your one friend who never plays zombies 20 million times, but you still did it. You had fun while doing it.
Yeah. I was the friend who never played zombies.
He was the friend who never played zombies who went down all the time. Thank you for, yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for volunteering your embarrassment.
No, it's true, man.
Yes, it's true. Fuck. And here's the thing, too, is like when we were younger, like we didn't do the online stuff. Like, yes, there was online stuff, but it was like you went over to your friend's house and you decked it out right then and there. And then you slap your friend with the controller.
Yep.
Or you took turns playing Flash games on the computer because you were the kid on the block who had the best computer at that time.
Yeah.
You know, or the only computer for that matter, really.
Yeah.
You know? Again, we were talking about Flash games on the previous podcast, and that was a huge thing. There were so many different Flash games that we would all play together at school, and all that. I remember us trying to play Minecraft at school, and we constantly re-downloading the demo for the game to play it.
Yes. Oh, man. I remember.
Like, it was a joy of a time. Minecraft is a huge nostalgic game. And it recently made a comeback.
Yeah.
And how could it not? Because Minecraft's the best. All of these
Minecraft is the best,
fans
dude.
out there, we can live in harmony. But you start talking shit about Minecraft, and we're going to have a fucking problem. I will send the Eye of Cthulhu after you. Swear to God. Okay? And see, that was back in the time where your peripherals didn't matter. It didn't matter if you had a great headset, great controller. I fucking played with the worst joysticks on some consoles before. Still kicked ass.
Oh, yeah.
Still play with it. You know, the mice on your PC got a shitty ass fucking generic HP mouse and keyboard that you didn't know what it was doing half time, would disconnect from your computer. You know, fucking Oregon Trail type shit, man. Like,
oh yeah,
Oregon Trail. I kept dying when my dad played Oregon Trail. My character kept dying of getting sick. I don't know why.
Dysentery.
I don't know why. It was always me, but it was always me. So fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Blah 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 blah. Yeah. So, man, nostalgic. Everything's nostalgic.
Oh, dude, yeah. I actually found fucking Fancy Pants earlier, and I was dabbling in it.
Were you?
Yeah.
Fancy Pants Adventure. Dude, Fancy Pants.
Dude,
again,
it was
that's what I'm
so
talking about,
good.
bro. That shit. Like, I'm thinking of cranking some out right now while talking, because...
Yeah, because, I mean, like, what was that other game? It was, like, where the entire purpose was to just fucking kill the stick man that was your character. You know what I'm talking about?
There's a couple of games like that.
Yeah.
There's quite a few. Off topic, I'm cutting you off real quick because this just popped up in the Flash games I'm playing. 2 different games. The Henry Stickmin series. Escaping the Prison, Stealing the Diamond. And then Sift Renegade. Which was a Stickman game where you just kicked ass. That was the whole point. You fucked shit up. That's all you did.
It's true.
And then there was also, I can't remember what exactly the name of it was, but you were, fuck, I'm gonna have to go look it up now. You were not Stickman. Your characters were round. Their hands were detached from their body, but you could get guns and shit, and you shoot people, and it's blood. Like, everything is like gray.
Yeah.
Except for the blood. And it was, fuck.
Fuck, dude, I don't know. I can't remember.
Hold on. Google Flash game where you are a bean and shoot people. Gangsta Bean. No,
Gangsta Bean.
That's definitely not it.
Definitely not.
That's definitely. Fuck, what was it called? Was it called Madness? Madness.
Yes.
That's what it was called, Madness. Yeah, dude, there was like 4 or 5 games in that series, and they got better every time. Madness Interactive was the original one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now you can, again, because of the whole Flash thing, you can download the game and play it off your computer and shit. And yeah, Madness Interactive was a nostalgia game for me because that one I didn't play with friends too often, but
yeah,
I played it a lot on my own. And again, I would go hard on that game.
Oh yeah, dude.
I would go fucking hard because blood.
Oh yeah.
I was trying to think of my thoughts there. I was like, why'd I go so hard?
Because blood.
Yeah, that's why. But yes, those games, nostalgic as hell. We talked about Yu-Gi-Oh in the first podcast.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh was a giant nostalgic thing for me. We had our whole friend group in on it. Me and Shay especially, we were very, even though we didn't play by the rules, we were still one of.
Yeah, we still enjoyed the hell out of it.
Like,
oh yeah,
he beat me, and let me tell you, we had a couple instances of cards flying.
Yeah,
it happened. You would have sworn we were ninjas because we could throw those cards, and we got pretty fucking accurate about it because our goal was to kill the other person at that moment. Yeah, we wanted them dead. Yeah, you pulled out the Blue Eyes White Dragon, and your friend tried to slit your throat with a card. That's just how it worked. Just
how it was.
There are some mobile games. Some mobile games. We talked about Fruit Ninja before.
Oh yeah.
What was the one where it was a runner game? It was 3D though, and you ran into a field of zombies, and you had to avoid the zombies.
Oh fuck. I don't know. I'm trying to think. So there was that one game like where you had to build a car and make it to the helicopter to the zombies.
Oh, that
You know what
one.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
it was like Yeah, well, you had because like you could upgrade your car and
Yeah.
all of that.
I forget what that other one was though.
Fuck! What the hell? I know which game you're talking about.
Yeah.
Fuck! I'm trying to
So,
find it because you played on the PC too.
yeah.
Dead Trigger 2 is another one too. That one was like ahead of its fucking time. Plants vs Zombies. Yes. Zombie Roadkill, is that
That's
the game
what it
you're
was.
thinking about?
No, it's Earn to Die.
Earn to Die. Yes, Earn to Die.
Yes.
Earn to Die. That shit, you could go hard on that. Who could beat the game before the other person?
Yeah, dude.
That was fucking
And we'd spend fucking hours doing that.
God damn it, man. I'm trying to think of that one that I'm thinking of in my head where you ran into a field and there was a bunch of zombies in the field and you had to you tilted your phone to dodge the zombies. But it was all 3D and it looked really good for its time. Fuck, I can't remember that, but we all know that. We also remember Dumb Ways to Die.
Yeah.
And I won't lie to you guys, I was subject to playing this game, but Robot Unicorn Attack. Thanks to Adult Swim. Because come on, we all watch Adult Swim. No matter what our parents we watch
dude.
Adult Swim. Robot Unicorn Attack was a platforming game where you went as long as you could and you were a robot unicorn. And yeah, let me tell you, it's not as girly as it sounds. It slapped. It slapped heavy. But again, some of the best games, the dinosaur game off Chrome, we all know that one.
Yes.
But yes, nostalgia, like what? Let's talk about nostalgia in itself, right?
All right.
Obviously, we have the nostalgia of video games, growing up, and it's something I don't want to let go of ever. That's why I try to play old school games and stuff with friends and all that, because I love how that time was back then. But let's talk about just, kind of nostalgic in general, and when you talk with, some of the older generation and what they had for distracted. What they had for nostalgia. It's crazy to think the kind of things that people have held on to for years that they wish they could have back. A lot of the older ones being able to go to the diner, and that's what you did after school on the weekend. You came with your, Dodge Charger that your daddy built in his garage, and you go down to the pizza parlor or the Shake Shack and get yourself a burger and shake and hit up on the girls and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude.
You see that.
Head over to the fucking arcade.
Yep, the drive-in movie theater and all of that, and it's crazy how the nostalgia's changed, but also like the nostalgia that we have now, which again I talked about, with us it was you came over to our house and you played split screen. Now the nostalgia for a lot of people who live now who are younger than us is going to be playing the online games with your friends, which we have that too. There's certain friends that I wish would come back online. But it's definitely made people be more distant from each other as well.
That's true.
It's hard. Like, you have your online friend, and there's definitely people who still get together. I have a friend who I met online many years ago, and we're planning a trip later this summer to meet each other finally, but it's still one of those, like the personability of what is nostalgic to people now is slim.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't help with and it doesn't help with, the recent quarantine situation.
No, that has not helped at all.
And, a lot of the kids, still in school haven't had the opportunity to, make those memories because we've been locked up,
Right. You can't invite Eddie over to, bounce in the bouncy castle or for your birthday party or anything because of COVID.
Yeah.
Fuck COVID, first of all.
Yeah, fuck COVID.
And everything that surrounds it. But
Yeah.
we won't get into that. That is
Yeah.
woo-wee. Yeah, won't get into that. But yeah, it's sad to see what people are gonna be remembering during this time as their nostalgic days. But all you can do is hang on to the best memories that you had and don't let them go. And that's why part of what we want to do is having old school tournaments for different games. Like, if I could get a whole rally of people to play Star Wars Battlefront 2 online, like the original one, oh my god.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2 tournaments, Black Ops 2 tournaments, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, all these different games to play to relive those memories. Because I think that's more important than anything is allowing those memories to be relived, because we're becoming adults and all of that, and we're starting to let go of that. And eventually, a lot of friends I know have gone to the point where they just can't go back.
Yeah.
Because they're just trapped in this world now. But I want to be able to change that, Like, no, let's hold on to that. Hold on to that little kid you had in your heart. Hold on to all that stuff. Because those were the happiest moments of your life that you'll never get back again. So hold on to them and relive them as much as possible, So.
Yeah, I mean, for me, nostalgia really comes from, like when I go home, definitely going to take a walk around the old town,
Mm-hmm.
Go to the places where I used to live and just reminisce. And I think it's going to be good.
Reminisce. And see, a lot of, my nostalgia all comes really online. Obviously, the Friends deal too, but a lot of my nostalgia, I'll go back and watch old school Jacksepticeye, old school Markiplier.
Oh,
Huge icons growing up for me. Old Tobuscus,
Yep.
That's a huge part of me. If I ever need a nostalgic boost, I'll go back to that. Last night, because I was into esports when I was younger, last night I was watching the Black Ops 2 tournaments, the finals, just to relive it. It's obviously not up to date, but I'm still over there fucking kill him, get him, yes!
Yeah.
It's... Yeah, and again, I'm not at all regretting that, we are where we're at now, how games have evolved, friendships have evolved, but it's also I wish it was still what it was.
Yeah.
Because that shit was fun. But granted, if it still was how it was, we'd probably be bored.
Yeah, that's true.
There's definitely a give or take between the two. But, yeah. And now, and what's funny, too, is even though things are changing, a lot of people our age have these aspirations to do what their idols did, but even their idols have changed.
Yeah.
Markiplier's changed how he does his stuff. Jack's changed how he does his stuff. Which Jack, I think, changed for the worse. I don't watch him much anymore. And then Tobuscus obviously had his prom, but I'm coming into wanting to be a content creator, live streamer, YouTuber with an aspirations of basically Markiplier.
Yeah.
Because I loved how he did his stuff. Was straightforward with it, little editing, and went in and got scared of Slenderman. Which, speaking of nostalgia games, Slenderman, I'll still play that game.
Oh,
Five
yeah.
Nights at Freddy's, I'll still play that. Those are games that I thoroughly loved and enjoyed. And Five Nights at Freddy's, man, I basically caused my phone to explode trying to play that game.
Oh, yeah.
Because when the game first came out on mobile, because they released a mobile version, you needed quite a bit to run it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a low resource game at all for some reason.
Yeah.
And I fought my phone tooth and nail to run that game, and I could not do it. And then I finally got a better phone, and then I played it, and I scared the fuck out of myself. Then I got a computer, and I played it, and I scared myself in 4-dimensional audio. It was... it got insane. And horror games is a huge thing of mine. My most popular live streams have been from horror games, and horror games is a staple of my nostalgia as well. Without a doubt. I need to play Outlast 1 live sometime, because I used to speedrun Outlast 1. But I feel like if I played it now, it'd scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
To be honest. Hold on, allergy break, sorry. Don't have allergies, kids. Actually, you don't have a choice, but if you get them, sorry. You can't do much about it. You take your Claritin, kids. Take your vitamins.
Yep.
Don't do what we did. Yeah, no, nostalgia. And again, Tobuscus, another nostalgic staple. This is why he became a topic for the beginning of this, because...
Yeah.
Sheesh. Things have changed. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Um. God, man. Yeah, nostalgia.
Yeah, like, and nostalgia is like a huge motivation for me when I'm creating music. Like whenever I make a song, there's a thought that's in my head that I want to relive, and I'm able to put it into music, and it really, relaxes me and kind of like helps me think of that memory in a different light, and a lot of times it's more positive.
Right. And you're decent at making it too. You just need the proper hardware, and then you'll turn into the next Skrillex, bro.
I'm good with not being Skrillex.
Oh, come on. Why? Nah. You got to be the next Skrillex.
Nah, I'm good.
We must drop the bass, turn up the bass, and make it pile fun. You got this, all right? Call 911. Wait, what is it?
Call 911 now.
It's gonna be put your mask on now. Boom. No.
Yes.
I can see it. I'm just saying, I can see it. God, man, those Flash games. We're having a Flash game live stream. It's fucking happening.
Oh yeah.
Like without a doot, it's happening. Yeah. Now I'm just thinking it. Now I just want to go play old games. I'm like.
Yeah, no, same.
I'm all sad. I'm like, I want to go play games. Fuck. I'm also tired. So my emotions are higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those of you guys who are still sticking around, we appreciate it. Hopefully we've given, like we said in episode 0, your thoughts, and your thoughts, and your thoughts, some thanks.
Yep.
That's what we want you to do. Want you to think. If you have any of those old friends that you haven't spoke to in a long time online, and you're able to speak to them, say hi to them, see what's up with them, see how their life's been. No, don't let go of what you used to love by any means. Because if you do, your life will suck. You'll turn into a drunk and abusive person, or drug addict, or a sex addict. Actually, that might not be bad. That's better than the latter.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's so much better than the latter, for sure. But Tobuscus, nostalgic. What's the third topic we want to cover in this podcast?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I
don't think we can cover I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, what is knowing?
Oh, fuck. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Shay's skit. I'll let him take it away.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't know what knowing is. What's knowing? What is knowing? What is real?
Knowing?
What do you define as
What
real?
is real?
This is what you could see, smell, touch. Knowing. Here, I have a thought to throw out on knowing.
All right.
Why, when you look at a Dr. Pepper can, what color is it?
Yeah. Red.
Okay, you only know it's red because you've been told it's red. Because the person who told you it's red was told red. That could have been green. That could have been blue. But it's red because you were told it's red. The sky is blue because you're told it's blue. We're not arguing that it's not blue. The sky is blue, but the color blue, it's blue because you were told it's blue.
Yeah.
You were told,
it's the same thing with money. I mean, money has value because we gave it value.
Right. Money didn't need to have value by any means. Like, who the fuck sat down and is like, hey, you know what we could do? Hits blunt. Seth Rogen laugh. I have an idea. Check this out, okay? We're going to make money the source of everything, right?
Yeah.
But not only are we going to make money the source, we're going to take part of that money when we give it to people. Yeah, right? You know that farm work you're doing? Guess what? You need money for it. Why do I need money for it? Because now that farmer down the street needs that money. Well, what does it do? Well, he could take that money and go buy a goat. All right? He needs that goat. Well, why did he need to do that before? We just traded goods. Nah, money. You see this little piece of metal here? This is now worth a number. What's that number?
This is now your life. This is
now your life. Like, money is the dumbest, stupidest thing that could have ever happened. But why? Like, why do we have to know about money? Who decided to make people know about money? It was stupid. It was like a power play that's fucked us up and turned things. It's made things corrupt. Money has made things corrupt. Life would be so much better without money.
I agree.
And like, I guess money is a motivator now. It didn't have to be. It could have been, hey, you make my website, I'll suck your dick. That's motivation. You don't need money for that. All right, that's fucking motivation. Why make prostitute illegal? That's what they've known for centuries. That's how they got their shit. But now money's a thing, and they don't care. You know, knowing. You know, it's all knowing is subjective, honestly. Because here's the thing: if I were to tell you the sky is red, maybe I think it's red. But why is it not red? Because everyone else says it's blue. Why do they say it's blue? Because they were taught it's blue. I think it's fucking red. Again, objectively, the sky is blue because we've all been told it's blue. But in reality, I think it's fucking red. Fuck you. I'm colorblind by choice. Okay? Like, all knowing is subjective. And again, we have facts. Facts are a thing, okay? We get that. But the facts could not have been facts without a subjective reasoning. Right? Why do you call that thing a goat? I don't know. Well, what made you come up with goat? It goes bah.
Yeah.
But the sheep goes bah. I know, but this dude has horns and he rams you. Why didn't you call it a ram? No, I gave that to another animal. What?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and again, I don't want to hear any of this. God came up with the name shit. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about this, right? We know English is a language, but then you hear someone else say the same thing in a different language, and then a different language, and a different language. It's like, nah, that ain't a motherfucking goat. That's a fucking shadiba. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck do you get goat? It's the same deal with fucking, like that thing I pointed out in our pilot episode for the podcast. That video where it's all like, I have petrol. Yeah, I call it gas. Yeah. But it's a liquid. Yeah, but I feel like calling it gas. It's literally like how all-knowing is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking, the only thing I can come up with at the top of my head that is an absolute... There's a couple of things that are absolute known that cannot be defied. Like, you changed. Your body needs water, which is only water because someone taught you it was water. They told you it's called water, right? You need electricity for things to be bright, and you need programming for things to do things for you.
Yep.
The more programming, the lazier you can be. So, knowing, yes. We need people's opinion on this.
Yeah, I agree.
Just knowing, man. Right. Let's share this up. What is a useless thing that you know that you really don't need to know and never should have known, but you know anyway?
There's a lot of fucking dumbass facts that I have.
Like here's one for you. Did you know that a whale's penis is called a dork?
Nice.
Yeah. So why the fuck do we call people dorks? What's wrong with a whale penis? It's bigger than you.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
You know, that's a useless fact, I know. So now I can't even call people dorks anymore. I know some random fact.
The Allies during World War II used blow-up tanks to deceive the Germans that the invasion was coming from somewhere else. That's a useless fact.
Who the fuck thought of that? That's clever.
I know, right?
That's a useless fact. Why do I need to know? That's good to know. So what you're telling me is I just need to shoot a blow dart in a tank to find out if it's real or not? You got me stressing now. I'm gonna look down the street and see an FBI van. In reality, it's a blow-up FBI van. They're actually on the other side of the street.
Yep. War is all about deception, man.
War is all about deception. Fucking The Art of War by Sun Tzu, right? Sun Tzu?
Yep.
Yeah. The Art of War. And so that's another thing. Why must we know war? Why must people know that? Now, I guess in some situations, a war is necessary, but that's only because someone made war necessary.
Yeah.
Who saw a rock and a caveman looked at a rock, and he looks up at his friend, and his friend just stole his girl. Right? He stole his cave woman, and he looks at this rock and goes, "Uatibaha," which is translated for, "I'm gonna hit you in the head with this, and then your friends are gonna hate me, and then my friends are gonna hate you, and now we're gonna fight." Who the fuck? If you didn't know that you could beat someone up like that, why? Why start?
Yeah. I mean, it's really strange when you think about it, because like most like motivations for conflict are like dumb shit that if someone just stopped and thought about it, then the conflict would be resolved.
Right. Sorry, I have a.
But instead they're like, all right, well, you want this oil, I want this oil, so let's go to war about it.
Like, can't you all just share?
Yeah.
Like, as soon as war happens, you're doing your country more harm than good.
Yeah.
And Vietnam could be a great example of that. We should have never been there. Ever.
I agree.
But it's the principle of the matter. Fuck your principal. My principal hated me in high school. Fuck your principal on it.
Yeah, I fucking hated Mr. Brown, dude.
Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown. I didn't have too many issues with him. But at the same time, I got why people did.
Yeah.
So, also, I should remind you, because we were talking about Flash games earlier, the Whack series. Whack a Thief, Whack Thief.
Oh, yes.
That.
Dude, I love that shit. Oh, man.
Gotta hit him with the good old whack.
Whack Your Boss. That was, like, my favorite one.
Whack your hoss. Whack Your Boss was really fucking good. How he put in the fucking earbuds.
Yeah.
And, it's all like, fuck, what was the saying? No need, no want, no worry.
Yeah, something like that.
No need, no want, no worry. It's like you just shoved the water barrel down your boss's throat. Like,
yeah.
No need, no want, no worry. Yeah, try telling that to the cops when they bust through the door.
Yeah.
Fucking. It's all started with knowing.
Yeah.
They say knowledge is power, but I feel like knowledge is like it hurts.
Yeah, I agree.
You know? And so I have a dead cow in my mouth. Yeah, blah blah blah. There we go. Always swallow, kids. Your food. Nasty. Yeah, no, the no, and even then, like, what's the no of the world? Like, they always talk about, like, you only use, like, a certain percentage of your brain. I've one time of knowing, what if you used 100% of your brain?
Yeah.
And you know what would happen if you used 100% of your brain? You would die. Your brain physically cannot do 100%.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because I could have a way smaller head if we just trimmed it down to what I actually use, you know, but, like, God, take this weight off my shoulders. Put your head on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, and let me explain why you would die. I actually have a scientific explanation for this. I don't have facts to back this up. I just have a general knowledge of how the brain works. It's because you would quite literally overload your head. Like, your brain would quite literally overload. And your body, like your brain has to tell your brain to do this for the brain. Your brain controls that. Yeah. It's your CPU. And your brain physically does not have the capacity to think of all of that at one time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's like a printer queue. You have to let the first thing in the queue print before the next thing can print, before the next thing can print. Now, granted, that happens in our head extremely fast, but you have to let things go. Now, I'm going to compare this to a computer. Some people are single core CPUs. Trust me, we know. And we all have that one friend who's a single core.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's some people who are 12 cores, you know? And it's no one's fault, except maybe your dad should have pulled out if you're a single core. But it's no one's fault. It just happens that way. But the human body is just not physically capable of 100% capacity. Even 10% capacity, because don't you only use like 5% of your brain? I wonder
something like that, yeah.
how much percent of brain? How much percent of brain? So humans use only about 10% of their brain. Well, let me see here. And by the way, when you look at 10%, because one of the things that was kind of debunked is like, you only ever use 10% of your brain. No, not that. It's you can only use about 10% of your brain at a time.
Yeah.
Now, if you could use 100% of your brain, then Shaggy would finally have a worthy opponent.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's only 20% of my power. But
I miss the Shaggy memes.
I love Shaggy. Yeah. But she caught me on the counter. Wasn't. Oh.
Reggie.
Scrolling through YouTube here, just came across a video that said in space everyone can hear you poop. Thanks.
Nice.
Yeah, no, knowledge. I hate knowledge. I hate that I know certain things, because me knowing certain things doesn't help my anxiety, too.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, worthless. Honestly, I feel like useless facts are more useful than some of the useful facts I know.
Yeah.
I'll be plain honest with you. The well penis one, I don't know. I don't know about that, because again, now I feel bad for everyone I ever called a dork, because now they're gonna learn what it means, and they're gonna think back.
They're gonna learn.
That dude called me a well penis.
God damn it.
God damn it. And they're gonna. It's gonna throw them off though. They're not gonna know what to do with themselves. They're gonna be like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Oh."
And then all comes back to you're just a massive dick.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm just like calling people dorks in high intense situations, and when they're like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "Oh, you're just a giant dick."
You're just a fucking ass
whale
wipe.
dick. You know. Jesus Christ. You're a whale dick. Yeah, someone's parents gonna hear us saying that, and they're gonna come in and be like, "Why are you talking about whale dicks?"
Yep.
I'm like, "Whale, didn't you listen?" Ha ha ha.
Whale.
Ha ha
Ha
ha
ha ha
ha. Jesus.
Nice.
Maybe we shouldn't do podcasts. Nah, we're continuing this. It's gonna be the most casual podcast on the planet.
I'm down with that.
God damn. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of topics covered. We're just a little over an hour now. We're going to go ahead. Unless, Shay, you got more you want to talk about. I think we can end it there if you...
Yeah, I think we can end it.
I can end it. Just end it right here.
Yeah. Just fucking click end
don't
right
end
there.
It, kids. Don't do that. Don't end it. Stay. Alive. Forever. But yes, anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, whether it's on YouTube or another platform. Once we get to that point, we appreciate you guys tuning in, listening to the podcast. Hopefully we gave your thoughts, and thanks for thoughts. That's going to be the saying of this podcast now.
Yep.
Make sure to keep an eye out for live streams. Keep an eye out for actual Let's Plays that we do. We'll make sure to get squad together, do some Let's Plays. Again, we're here to Speak Casual channel. We're just starting out, and as new topics come about, we'll talk about topics as they come. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, as usual. Hopefully my editing does this podcast justice, even though there's not much I have to do, honestly. Just stitch the audio together, really.
Yep.
But yeah, everyone have a good morning, evening, afternoon, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Tune in for episode 2, whenever that might be. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah. Maybe now. Maybe in a week. Who knows?
Who
Depends
knows?
on the effort put in. Who won? Who's next? You decide.
You decide.
Epic red battle. Have a good one, everyone.
Goodbye.